What's going on YouTube? So right next to me is a really important new product for the Ford brand. This is the all-new Ford Ranger, but it's not just any Ranger. This is the ultimate Ranger. This is the new Ranger Raptor. And we're going to take a detailed first look at this really badass Raptor right now. So let's start off with the exterior design. Now obviously when it comes to a Raptor product, they have a certain design aesthetic where everything is designed with a purpose, to be very off-road capable, but also to look cool. And I think this really nails that formula. So up here in the front, you've got this new Ranger grille, but we also have the classic Ford spelling. So you can see Ford is like actually part of the grille itself, and it's spelled all the way out across the entire thing. That looks really, really cool and very well integrated. Now, in terms of other elements, obviously the lower fascia does have a unique look on board. We also have our recovery hooks. You're gonna get a real metal skid plate as well. And the ground clearance, I'll insert the number in there and how that compares to the regular model, but obviously you are gonna have enhanced ground clearance. You're also gonna have enhanced approach and departure angles for when things get really tough out there on your off-roading. Taking a look at the headlights, we have very premium looking LED headlights. So you have projector style, low and high beams right there. You also have this big bracket shaped daytime running light and turn signal indicator with fog lights below. Now moving on to the wheels, obviously in the Ranger lineup, you're gonna have a lot to choose from, but it's all about, beefy performance with the Raptor Ranger. So what we have is 17-inch alloy wheels. These are bead lock wheels. We also have these really rugged all-terrain tires on board, and you can see inside there you have really enhanced suspension for all the off-roading you need to do, as well as the fact that the fenders themselves are really flared out compared to the regular Ranger. The regular Ranger is actually kind of right in my eyesight, so you can see kind of the difference there between how flat this is versus how flared out and how much wider this is going to be here with the Ranger Raptor. Now, of course, mirrors wise, you're going to have all the standard affair of information, including blind spot monitoring.
Now let's go ahead and talk about how you can get this Ranger. Now this Ranger is only going to be available in this cab configuration. So you have the double cab and a 5-foot bed. So they make it nice and easy on you. Now additionally, that does mean that you have an overall vehicle length of about 210 inches long. And as far as design elements, my oh my, I love the way this Raptor looks. We have all of this side graphics here, so you're certainly not going to mistake it for a regular Ranger here at the side, and of course the beefier wheel surrounds. Now, checking out the rear itself, I absolutely love the way this looks. Now, it's not quite as crazy as some of the other Raptor products that I've seen, specifically on the F-150, but we do still have a lot of special elements going on through here. So we have Ranger spelled out across the back, we have Raptor branding here on the right side, and we are actually going to keep a traditional Ford emblem. Now, what's really going to clue you into that this is a Ranger Raptor is the fact that this lower diffuser area is all going to be finished in that darkened material. We're also going to have dual exposed exhaust outlets. You're not going to get that on the regular version of the Ranger. As a matter of fact, you only get a side-mounted exhaust on the right side. So this is going to be one of the key elements that is different for the Ranger Raptor. You're also going to have recovery hooks here in the back. Now, if we open up the tailgate, you will notice that we have a nice dampened one. I'm also noticing, as far as this area is concerned, that we have a very nice bed liner, Ford branding in the back. We also have power outlets on the left side. And I think one of the cool touches that Ford is including for this Raptor model is kind of like the red hooks here. And we also have a spring system. I've never seen that before on a mid-size truck. So it's certainly very neat. But we're going to go ahead and get out of the noise out here and show you what's inside the cab.
If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, let's go ahead and check out the inside. Obviously, you will have a smart entry system, as you'd expect. And there is the cabin of the all-new Ranger Raptor. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of the enhancements from the regular Ranger, but with some special sporty elements for Raptor duty. The biggest thing you're really going to notice, I think, is the seats. So As you can see, we do have a, leather covered seat here, but this is a very aggressively bolstered sports seat. So we've got these thick bolsters that are really going to hold you in place. You have Alcantara inserts inside of the bolsters themselves. And then critically, you have these really cool orange accents that you're going to see repeated throughout the cabin and inside of your Raptor branding right up there. Now, in terms of, getting inside the vehicle, it does have 10.7 inches of ground clearance, but we do have this large, beefy running board here, so getting in is not too bad at all. And let's go ahead and all get inside so we can check out the details of the cabin. All right, so I shut up the door, and let's first of all just kind of look at the rest of the cabin material. So we'll start out with the door trim. We've got a nice leather pad through here, or leatherette pad, I should say. That same material is going to be up here. And then we have kind of a rubber type of trim up at the top in a different color. That same trim is going to continue across the upper part of the dashboard with the stitching detail. We've got faux carbon fiber running through the center section. You'll see the orange accents again repeated around the vents and other elements. And as we come down to the lower panel, we have a little strip that's going to be padded and stitched through here, and everything feels relatively solid overall. You actually have this little, almost like, I don't know if I can call it a handle because you can only stick 4 fingers in there, but it's a little bit of a handle situation. Now, obviously, you do also have a push-button start. It's kind of strangely attached to the steering column, located right over there. But we're inside, so I'm not going to start it up. But Ford has plugged this in so that you can still see all of the graphics and things, and that's really a great place to start. So check out this gauge cluster, really a gorgeous gauge cluster, full digital cluster. We do have those latest graphics that are powered by Unreal Engine, so they're very video game-like, very smooth and super cool looking. And you're going to be able to reconfigure this. You're going to be able to see things like off-road tilt angles and all the types of information right at your fingertips that you're going to want to know when you're off the beaten path. Now, as I pull back, take a look at the steering wheel. Special Raptor steering wheel with branding, perforated leather, color contrast stitching. You've got large paddle shifters on the back, and these are made of metal, just like with the F-150 Raptor. If you tap them, they are definitely made of metal, and they feel fantastic in the hand. Obviously, you can get things like steering wheel heating as well. I'm also noticing, just like the F-150 Raptor, you have a lot of controls where you can individually mess with the suspension, the steering, and you can also do the exhaust right there on the steering wheel individually. I really like that. You don't have to fool around with the display. Just pop that, and you're going to switch to whatever customizable mode you want. Now, let's check out storage. Inside of here, we have a pretty good amount of storage. I thought that was a wireless phone charger for a second, but it's not. It's actually up there in the front, as you would expect, right there. Again, you have your 2 cup holders as well, and overall storage is pretty good. Also, over here on the passenger side, you have a dedicated storage shelf with rubber lining, and you also have this secret hidden storage, which just looks like the dash, but actually has a little shelf underneath. Now, taking a look at the shifter, this kind of looks like an electronic shifter, but it's a physical shifter. It just has a little stubby design. You have manual mode with those paddles I was mentioning earlier. And then in terms of, your backup camera, you have an available 360 camera. I can't pull that up right now, obviously. And then let's kind of get into this area. So you do have some climate controls, it looks like, as well as the control for your volume. You can adjust it inside the display itself as well. So I like that you have physical controls and also touch controls if that's what you prefer. And let's talk about the display itself. So standard is going to be a 10-inch display. This is the 12-inch display. So just like with the F-150, you kind of have this nice look to this that's a portrait style. Latest Ford graphics on board, and the latest infotainment system, again, with nice performance and good graphics. Up top, we have a auto-dimming mirror. Homeway remotes will be located up there. And then just like with the F-150 Raptor, you have this whole row of auxiliary connections. This allows you to attach accessories to the outside of the truck, and then you can just flip that switch and be able to give them power. It's really cool that Ford just goes ahead and builds the Raptors with that in mind, that you're going to customize them.
All right, so let's dive into what the rear area is going to be like with this Ranger Raptor. Now, this area is going to be very nicely done, and as far as the overall legroom figures, we're looking at 34.6 inches of legroom, about 40 inches of headroom, so a good amount of headroom. It is more than most of the competition when it comes to headroom. However, the legroom is pretty much on par with most of the competition. It's not going to be super spacious for like full-size adults. Now, as far as features are concerned, here in the center we just have a hole where features would be, but we don't have any vents or anything like that. We do have 2 charging USB ports, as well as a household style outlet. And then we also have a fold down center armrest here in the middle with 2 cup holders inside. The door trim is going to be decently made. We have a hard touch material up on the top, and then it's leatherette through the middle part. We do still have like the F-150 style door handles that you kind of squeeze to open the door, which is interesting. And then you have bottle storage down at the very bottom.
Now, a lot of rivals to this truck have really eliminated V6 engines, but Ford says no to that trend. They are including a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine with this Ranger Raptor. Critically, you know, compared to probably this one's biggest rival that's also coming out this year, the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, that will come with a hybrid system with a 4-cylinder engine. So that's really a key difference between those two if you're going to be cross-shopping those when they both become available. Now, total power output on this is going to be 405 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. So really, really good numbers for a mid-sized truck. You have a 10-speed automatic transmission, and obviously, this is a Raptor after all, so it's going to come standard with 4-wheel drive. Now, fuel economy ratings are not quite available yet, but this will be going on sale soon, so stay tuned for that.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the pricing for this new Ford Ranger. Now, we do start at a pretty affordable price tag of $32,670, and that's going to be for the regular Ranger XL. Now, there are different trim levels that you can choose. A $35,610 for the XLT. What's sitting to the left of me here in that orange color is the Lariat trim level. That's $43,630, and then you have this top of the line Ranger Raptor, which is $55,470 as a starting point. So certainly a lot more affordable than an F-150 Raptor if you're looking to get this Ranger Raptor, and a lot of really cool features, a lot of really cool styling on board for that price tag. Now, if you're looking to buy this Ford Ranger or any new vehicle, we'd recommend you go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, why you'd go to our website is because we have a tool on there that will connect you with local dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. A link to that is provided in our video description. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this in-depth first look review of the all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help allow us to make more content like this, come out to the auto shows, and make some content on the newest cars on the market. So please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.